happy Friday. I am so excited to be here today. I'm Carissa Wiley from sprinkledwithglitter.com, and I have something so fun planned for today. We're gonna do fall, but we're gonna do fall fruit. So stick around because I am teaming up with Altenew today. I have, excuse me, I have not only an exclusive discount for you, which I have pinned at the top of the chat. If you click that link, it automatically applies the discount and takes you to the things that are on sale. Or you can use the Carissa Live 3 discount code, and that will save you 10% off the Creative Cuts category at Altenew. So I'm teaming up with them for a great discount exclusive for all of you. That is good through September 28th at midnight Eastern. So make sure you shop quick for that. And then I'm also giving away two $15 Altenew digital gift card codes. So I'll give those away at the end of the live stream, and I will just randomly pick people from the comments in order to give those away. So it's a lot of fun. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. And then I would love it if you would go ahead and just hit the thumbs up button on this as well. I'm gonna just pop up a graphic for the Creative Cuts collection discount that we're offering you here exclusively for my YouTube followers. It's 10% off of that Creative Cuts collection. There is a link in the YouTube description. So if you click that link, it takes you directly to and automatically applies the discount code. However, if you click one of the other links in the YouTube description that takes you over to Altenew, you can also use the code Carissa Live 3 at checkout to save 10% off of that category. So much fun. And I'm going to be using, if you'll notice on this graphic, there are two cards that are actually mine. So the little dove card, I created that, and that's part of what's on sale, as well as the suitcase card. Excuse me, I have something in my throat today. I created that one as well. The pear card in the middle, I did not create that one. Somebody else did, but we're gonna create with that Creative Cuts set today. So, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fun? Yes, thank you, Altenew. I believe Mitzi's gonna be here in the comments with me. I haven't seen her pop up yet. Maybe she did while I was chatting, but I haven't seen her pop up yet. But she should be here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and take you to the desktop, and we'll have a look at some of the stuff that we're creating with today. I have a general idea of where I'm going with this card, like always. I have a little bit of prep work done, but I have not done a ton of prep work. I just did the die cutting because I thought that that would be something like, y'all don't want to watch me just run that through over and over again. So yes, the dove is in this promotion. So if that's something that you've been looking to add to your stash, I think it's perfect for a sympathy card or just a really peaceful feeling. And I do have a video tutorial featuring that dove card over on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out how I made that card, you can do that. Also the suitcase card, that's featured in that promo graphic. There is a YouTube video for that as well. So be sure to check my, my YouTube channel for more inspiration. So I'm going to be using the Fresh Pears layering die set. This is a nice large die set. So much fun. And I love these because it gives you a little guide on the back. It also gives you some suggested color combos and shows you how to put all of this together. Now I'm going to put together for sure this branch. I may or may not put together the kind of open pear design where it's like sliced open. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just do it all just for funsies. But I'm going to be using these colors here today. And this is how I swatched them. Isn't that fantastic? So I picked some colors that I've been really obsessed with lately. And that's this Nature's Wonder color collection here. It has Misty Moor, Marshland, Sea Forest, and Mangrove Root. So that's this one, and this is Sea Forest. So this is Misty Moor, this is Marshland, and this is Sea Forest. So kind of in those pear green colors. And then the Mangrove Root, I'm gonna use that on top of some moss cardstock to kind of to kind of give it a little shading. Now, when I went to pick my pinks, I really love pink pearl, but if I went from pink coral to like coral berry or coral bliss, I can't remember which one is the next step. It's coral something. It felt like it was getting very summery, and I really wanted to keep this on like the fall theme side. So I'm going to pair actually pink pearl and dusty rose, which is this one here, to create my pink florals instead of this brighter one. And then I have butternut pulled out. That's for the yellowy color on my pear. And then pistachio is for the centers of my florals. It'll all come together, trust me. And I decided that instead of using a ton of different colors of cardstock to die cut, that I would just die cut most of them from white cardstock, and then I would use my inks to color those. I really love an inked die cut. I think it's a really beautiful way to color something, to give it a little bit of variation. But you can see that I also used some moss and dark chocolate cardstock for a few of the elements here, just to make it a little easier. So when you're looking at your layering die sets from Altenew, this is a keyhole die set. It's really nice because all of these have like numbers. So C2, C3, they're kind of etched into the die. And then you can look over here to see how each of those come together. So you know which ones to cut. You can look at your guide to see what color you want to cut them out of or what color you want to ink blend them, and then do your die cutting from there. Now, I will tell you that as I die cut them, kind of put them into groups of colors that I want to blend with. So let me show you what I mean. So this here, these are all my base pieces, and I want those to be the darkest color. So you can see the 3 base pieces here. Those are going to be the darkest colors. So I have all of them grouped together so that I know when I'm blending, I'm going to blend all of these in the darkest color. Then I have kind of this medium color. Those are grouped down here. And then I have the lightest color down here. And then this is kind of this beigey color here. So I kind of group them all into blending groups so that I can, easily not be blending this color here and then again over here. So I kind of do that just to make my life a little easier. And you can see I did not a ton of die cutting, but I did some die cutting ahead of time to give us a little jump start on this card. Catherine says, I'm not a fan of fruit dyes, but I bet Carissa will create a masterpiece. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And even if you're not a fan of fruit dyes, I think you'll maybe learn something along the way today. So just hang out with me here. I'm glad to have you. So I'm going to move the flowers out of the way because I feel like they're kind of in the way for what I want to do with my blending up here. So I'm going to do that and just kind of move them down. And I'm going to start with my darkest color. Now for my darkest color of the pear, I decided to use marshland and then just blend a little bit of the sea forest around the edge. My dogs are barking again. It's like without fail, even when they are crated up for a live stream, I bet someone's delivering something. So they always have a way. So I'm starting out with a large blending brush. Now we talked about blending in like detail a couple weeks ago on my live stream. These Altenew blending brushes are kind of nice and compact. You can get a lot of color down really quickly with these. And they have a nice grip at the top where you can kind of come in and do that. Just kind of grab it with your fist. And as far as, like, does it hurt your wrist? I don't know, because I don't have wrist problems. And so I'm not sure what hurts, different people as far as grips go. So if you are one of those that has a problem with, grip and blending, I would recommend just getting a brush from the different styles of brushes and see which one works best for you. So I'm going to start with the marshland over the entire area of these pears. And then we will come in with some of the sea forest around the edge to give it a little more green. Carmen says, Carissa, you you give the best tips and tricks to help me grow in my card making technique and skills. Well, thank you. I'm so glad. I aim to be helpful. I aim to be inspiring. So I'm so glad to hear that. Now I'm going to take the Sea Forest. Now Sea Forest, there's Mitzi. She says, sorry I'm late to the party. It's Mitzi behind the badge today. We were talking about you, Mitzi, and I was wondering if you had forgotten, but I'm glad you're here. So I'm going to take now Sea Forest, and all of these colors, by the way, are linked in the YouTube description below. And I'm going to take a mini ink blending brush, and I'm going to go around the edge of this and just kind of give it some depth and darkness. Okay, so I'll start with this one here on the right. I got a little heavy there, but we'll work it out. It'll be fine. And then we'll go around and do the same thing on these others. So if you're feeling like you're getting some dark spots, it's a good idea to lighten up your touch a little bit. So like, I know that I'm going in pretty heavy, so I'm going to concentrate on being a little lighter handed, and then also tapping off my brush before I take it to my cardstock. So I'm going to do that and just kind of focus myself on not being so hard on the blending brush there. Now, I will tell you, a lot of you have been around and know, for whatever reason, I have been having issues with YouTube lately. I have my Wi-Fi completely turned off. So my computer is connected via Ethernet cable to the router. And so hopefully we will not have any issues with the freezing that we've had recently. It's been so frustrating to me, and and then I'm monitoring my bandwidth as well. So I know that if we have problem with freezing, I will either know that my bandwidth has dropped, which I can monitor that, or that it's a YouTube thing. And hopefully that'll help us kind of decide what's going on with all of that. So, but anyway, I appreciate all of you being here. I hope that you have a little light in your life as a result of this, a little joy, a little inspiration when you leave here today. And we'll just do some shading there. Now, I don't want to go overboard on the shading because we're going to layer some other, the other layers on top, and I don't want to spend all of my time shading something that might not show. So I'm going to just add a little more. I think most of the layering goes on the left side, so I think we'll add a little more to the right side, and then we'll move on. But aren't these colors like perfect for a pear? I think these are so great. And I think because, pears have like freckles, I think it would be fun to do like freckles on the pear too. Okay, so we have the darkest layer done, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe up my area where I've put the ink down. And you'll notice that each of these pears has a keyhole design, and each of the keyholes is a little bit different shaped. And as we go to put these together, what I'll do is make sure that I kind of point out the different shapes and how they go together for you. All right, so now I'm going to move these over, and we're going to go to, let's see, I'm trying to remember C2, C3. Okay, those are my light, these are my medium. So medium is going to be marshland by itself. Okay, so I'm just going to take the marshland with a large ink blending brush because I want to cover a lot of area in a short amount of time and put down quite a bit of blending or ink in one time. So that's why I'm using the larger blending brush. And these blending brushes can really, really take quite a bit of pressure because the bristles are nice and packed together. So going in there, so that'll be my second color. And then my third color, I'm trying to decide, do I want to do butternut? Should I have done Misty more on that one and then done butternut on these? Let's try one with butternut and then we'll decide if we want it more yellow or if we want it a little more green. So I'm gonna do this. I'm not sure. Okay, let's try Misty more on this. Maybe we'll mix the colors. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, we'll do that. At least for the like shadow bright layers on the pear or the highlight layers. It's a beautiful sunny day here in central Pennsylvania. What's the weather like? What's the temperature like? Because it's sunny here in California too, but we're still like, we're not even hinting at fall yet. I feel like we're just kind of still pretty warm. Okay, so this one is kind of the inside of the pear, which would be a little more golden and a little less green. So I'm going to make sure that I do that one in a nice creamy yellow color. So I'm going to wipe this one off. I've been using it for my green, but I'm going to wipe it off because this is a light yellow. And then I'll go in and put down some like creamy yellow color with this butternut. This is a great fall palette. If you saw, I actually posted a video featuring some Altenew products on my YouTube. It's a pre-recorded today. This is a great fall palette that I'm using today, and I think you'll see more of the fall when we bring in the dustier pinks. I think it'll make a little more sense. Now, also in the yellow, I want to do these little floral stamens, so I'm going to do those. You can see my mat's doing a good job of holding those little guys in place while I blend over the top. Okay. And then I have this, which is part of the pear, but it's like in the little example, it's a little more beigey. So I pulled out, where to go? Pink sand for that. Now, pink sand is in the same family as Dusty Rose, but it's like a little more beigey. So I'm going to go light on this because I don't want it to be brown. And maybe we'll bring in a little yellow over the top too to just kind of have some creaminess to it. Oh, I think that's perfect. Just whatever was left on there and a little bit of that pink sand kind of blended together to create a little more beigey tone on that. So this will layer on this guy, and then that'll give us the center of the pear. Okay, how we doing? I've been blending and haven't really been, it's 78. Oh, well, that's not too bad at all. Is that piece of paper, is that piece if you want to be a sliced pear? Yeah, there is one sliced pear in this grouping. So there's two pears that kind of go on the vine, and then there's one sliced pear. So that's what you're seeing there. Okay, so we have all those done. Let's do the centers of our florals, which we're gonna do in pistachio. So I'm just gonna wipe off the green brush that I was using earlier, and I'm gonna do these in pistachio, which is a little less, it's a little more like, I would say, how would I describe this? Not quite as limey, or not quite as, I don't know. It's different. Look, it's different than the others. That's what I'm trying to say. It's different. Okay, so we have those done. Let's do our little floral pieces. So we're going to start with pink pearl for the florals. What is retired? What has retired? Do you know if the Seashore's gradients? Oh, the gradient. Okay. Bummer. I just wanted to stay up on that because I wanted to know. I'm nosy like that. Okay, so we're going to do pink pearl over all of this first, over all of our floral pieces, okay? I'm going to go fairly heavy in some places and a little lighter in other places. All right, so these are all the little floral pieces. I have them kind of grouped together by flower so that I know what goes together. And interestingly enough, the keyhole on these is like L and T looking. They look like an L or they look like a T, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, so you can see I'm going a little heavier towards the center and a little lighter towards the edge of the petal. And this is beautiful, but I want it to feel a little dustier. I don't want it to feel totally dusty, but I want to pull this, what I would consider like a very summery color, over a little more fall. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the dusty rose and we're going to add a little bit of shading with the dusty rose. So I'm going to grab this blending tool here and we'll go just a little bit. It kind of brings it brickier. It's like a little brickier. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in here so that you can see the change that's happening in these. I tend to like get out of the frame if I'm not careful. But do you see, it's a little more earthy, I would say. A little less summery and a little more earthy with that dusty pink, but it blends really well with the pink pearl. So I'm kind of adding it more towards the center, and mixing colors like this can really give you those colors that you love and kind of push your color in one direction or the other. Now, if I would have done the whole thing in Dusty Rose, it could have looked really like dusty, and I wanted it to have some vibrance. And so that's why I used the pink pearl as a base to give it a little bit of vibrance, and then we can go back over and kind of bring back some of that vibrance if we want with some of the pink pearl. So you just kind of can shift the color just a little bit with things like that. Try mixing your colors. Like if you don't have, just like we did with this, I didn't really have the perfect color, beigey color for the inside of the pear, but what I did instead was mixed a couple of colors that kind of could mix together to be a good blend for that. Okay, let's move this down. And I am not blending these stems at all, so I'm just gonna take them off of my mat and I'm gonna do a little bit of blending on the leaves here with the mangrove root. I was told during a event recently that I wasn't pronouncing it correctly. I was told it's like mangrove, like it rhymes with sang. Mang and sang. So there you go, in case you needed to know that. That's like the reading rainbow around here. Knowing's half the battle. Okay, this is moss cardstock. So when you have something like this, but maybe you don't, I do have moss ink, but maybe you don't have moss ink. I didn't choose moss ink because I wanted to show you that you can use other colors on colored cardstock, again, to kind of push it in one direction or the other to create the blend that you want. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to the edge of some of these leaves to give it some shading. So just a very subtle look. Just giving it a little color here. So this is the mangrove root, and it is in the same family. It's the darkest of that Nature's Wonder, which has the misty moor and the marshland. Ooh, their blending brush bundle is half off. Wow, I didn't even know that. And then don't forget, if you're wanting to pick up any of the Creative Cuts collection, for those of you coming in late, there is a 10% discount code. I've pinned it at the top of our chat. You can save 10% off of the Creative Cuts category over at Altenew. And that discount code is good until midnight Eastern time on September 28th. If you use the link at the top of the chat, it is an affiliate link, so thank you if you use that, but it will automatically apply the discount code for you. But if you use a different link in the chat, then you will need to use the code Carissa Live 3, which I'll pop on the screen, and that will give you the 10% off of the creative cuts category. Okay, we are done with our blending. We've done a lot of blending. I'm going to put up some of this stuff so it's out of my way as I continue to create, and I'm going to zoom you guys out just a little, maybe not all the way, because I do want to put these together. Now, when I'm putting something like this together, I love to use this guide. And then also you'll notice that in some of these layers, like this one here, you can see it has pressed in the number. So I can use this to guide me. So this is A2 here. The stem is A1. And I'll know which stem goes with this pair because the keyhole will match the same shape. So in this case, the keyhole actually is a keyhole shape. So I'll show you that on the pair, on the stem, so you can see that. But for this one here, this one has a different shape. This is the C shape. You'll notice that this keyhole has that different shape as well. So I know these all go together. And I'm going to start just kind of pairing things. Haha, that's kind of a funny little pen. Pairing things up with where they go. So I'm going to just sort them out by their keyhole shapes. Now for this second layer here that is not marked, it's marked on the die, but it's not marked on the die cut. I am just looking at this guide here to see which shape goes with A and which goes with B. They're pretty different, so you're able to discern the difference. Okay? How's that for a fancy word? Okay, so these go together. These go together. And then, let's see, this one goes with this one. This one, let's see, B, A, B. Oh, B has a leaf. That's why I can't find it. B has a leaf on it. So B, oh, that's C. Oh, B's the triangle. Okay, just sorting things out here. So this one goes with B here. And then the matching little stem goes on top. Okay, so we have a bunch of these ready to go. We're gonna start assembling. So I have them kind of all pulled out here. Now my lightest layer, I wish it was a little lighter. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Because we can't make that lighter, but we can make this darker, I'm going to grab some marshland on these medium layers, and I'm going to add some more marshland to these. And that will, by default, make those a little darker and make these a little lighter. Okay? I think that's a good compromise. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, a little more differentiation. Okay, this guy's stuck to my mat there. Love the keyhole system. Yeah, the keyhole system is super brilliant. Okay, so let's start with pair A. So pair A has the little stem that goes on the back. Okay, I have you guys pretty close so that you can see. You can see that keyhole shape there. Let me zoom you in just a little more. Okay, do you see my lights like flash when I use this? I think it's so funny. So you can see the keyhole shape there, and I'm gonna line up the keyhole shape of pair A. Okay. Then I can take this guy here. This is my A3 layer. And I'm going to place that right over the top. You're going to notice that it will line up here at the top. I'm just going to push that down. Okay. So we're building our dimension. And then I'll put the little highlight layer right here. Now, at this point, if you wanted to like intensify any of the blending around some of this, you could. It would be a little harder, but you can see that we've kind of built up those layers. Now let's go to Pear B. So Pear B starts out with the leaf layer at the back, and you can see that the keyhole shape is actually, let's focus, a triangle shape. So I'm going to line the two triangles up here. Let's see. I'm trying not to get my head in your guys' way. Move this up so you can see it. I'm not great when it's like zoomed in. All right, so we'll do that. And then we'll grab the next layer here, do some liquid glue. And let's put this where it kind of nestles up against that left side. So you can see it lines up along this top and the curve and the left. So you get that. Then we'll have our little highlight piece right here. Little creamier color that we mix those two colors on. So just like that, okay? And then the final one on B has this little stem that goes over the top. I'm gonna grab my perfect picker tool. If you don't have a perfect picker tool, you need a perfect picker tool in your life. You just do. That's all there is to it. Lee says, I'm getting hungry. Yes, these pears are adorable, aren't they? Okay, let's build pear 3. So pear 3 starts with the stem, okay, and then C1. So this is the first layer here. So can you see that the keyhole shape is a little different? It looks like, I don't know, like a rocket ship or something. Okay, so those keyholes are lined up. Then we can take C2. This one's impressed by the die. C2. And we can add that right there where the keyholes line up. Okay, we know that they're going to be in good position when the keyholes line up. You're going to have that little sliver of color right there. That's how it was designed. And then we'll take this guy here, which is the beigey color that we added to the inside. And we're gonna, or that we added to the inside, that we added on here by mixing the two colors. And we'll go right over the top here. Kind of lines up there, leaving that area open. And then we have two little seeds, which I cut from the dark chocolate cardstock. They're floating around up here. Uh-oh, one went under my keyboard. Here we go. Okay, so there's like a teardrop shaped one, and then one that has like an elongated top. And there's impressions made by the die, so you can see exactly where these go. Oh, this guy's gonna be a booger. He say no. Okay. All right. Makes me want a pear. Does anybody make any pear desserts? I'm just wondering. It is kind of like a puzzle. It's a fun little puzzle though. I'm gonna clear out a couple of notifications here. They do layer beautifully together, Carmen. They're just, and all of the Creative Cuts dies are gonna have this layering effect. So you can apply this idea to all the Creative Cuts dies that are part of that promo today. And you can know that, like, okay, I know how to do this because I've seen this. And maybe it's not the exact Creative Cuts you've put together, but like that you've seen me put together, but you know that it all works out. Okay, so now we have this stem here. And the stem has the instructions right here. So you're gonna start, A and B pairs line up on here, like the keyhole, okay? So you got A and B that are gonna go here, just like that. But you also have, you guys are so tight, you also have some other leaves that go along this stem. So we're gonna add those now. I like to add glue just like around the keyhole itself. And then I'm gonna match up these different shapes. So this one has like an arrow shape, and I'm gonna line it up with the arrow shape. Now, of course, you could cut these off and you could use the little, like, you could use the little leaves on their own. You don't have to use them on here. But this will give you that perfectly arranged little idea. Now this one, the positioning would be tricky on this if I wasn't lining up the shapes. So do you see how I lined up the shapes and then I got that leaf exactly where it was designed to go? And then we have another leaf here that goes right there. So just matching up the shapes. That third pair is just so creative. My husband likes mincemeat pie. A friend from church gave me a recipe it made from pears instead of apples. I have never had mincemeat pie from pears or apples. I don't even know that I know what that is. What is mincemeat pie? That sounds interesting. Pear tart with a cinnamon cream. Oh, that sounds amazing, Crafty Cornerstone. Oh, that sounds so good. Beverly, very realistic with the shading. Beverly. Fig jelly, no desserts, but I love poached pear in a salad. Oh yeah, pear is good in a salad. Pear bread, oh, that sounds amazing too. Now I am hungry. You guys are selling it today. Okay, now we're gonna go here. So this is cut out of dark chocolate, and this is going to give our branch the brown color. Probably should have put it on before I put this leaf, but we're just gonna turn them up. Okay. Actually, no, I wouldn't have put that on before because then you would see the keyhole. You just have to lift this guy to get it under there. Sometimes you just have to think things through. Minced meat equals ground meat. So you do meat and apples? That sounds different. Okay, pear tart. I want that pear tart with the cinnamon cream. That just sounds amazing. And the pear bread. The pear bread sounds really good. Okay, so now we have, this guy needs to slide. Ugh. Okay, so now we have our little vine, our branch, and then we have our place for our pears to go on our branch. So you could put this on there first, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm looking for, I guess if you were gonna put this on, like you don't have to use the stem. Like if you're gonna put it on here, let's do that. I like that better. Okay, now you know. You don't need the stem if you put it directly on the branch. Okay, now this one, probably same thing. You probably don't need all this. So we're just gonna pull it off. Okay. We're just gonna do it like that. Okay. Isn't that cute? Love it. It's giant on my screen because you guys are so close today. So we have all of our pears. Let's put together our little florals. Okay. Now I have you guys zoomed in still for a reason, and that's because we'll zoom out in just a bit. Trust me. You guys are super close. I'm not sure I love for you guys to be this close, but this one, I don't know if you can tell. Let's see if it'll focus. Do you see how it has like a little L shape? Okay, that's one flower. The other flower has like a T shape. So you know which ones go together. So my L's are all gonna go together and my T's are all gonna go together. This is the base piece. So I'm just gonna start with this. I'm not sure that it matters which one you put on first, but it shows this one. So I'm just gonna line the L's up, okay? Maybe. Mincemeat can be a sweet ingredient. Mixed fruits, usually mixed with cinnamon and Christmassy flavors. We have sweet mince pies at Christmas in the UK warmed up with brandy cream. Now that sounds amazing. Either a type of finely chopped meat, also known as ground meat, or traditional English pie filling of dried fruits, spices. Now, okay, now I don't know a lot about, honestly, because I know the traditions are just a little bit different. Help me out here. Help me in knowing that's different than like, what are those? Oh, fruitcake, right? It's, yeah, obviously, because it's a mincemeat and fruitcake are two different words. Okay, so I'm just lining up all the L's here. I'm not doing anything like super complicated or fancy. I'm just lining up the direction, making sure that all the L's are going in the same direction. So this gives me one like little floral here. We're gonna do this because we're gonna put these little stamen on. Now you could totally skip the little stamen. I mean, no one's gonna know. But we're going all in on this card today. All right, and then where's the other L? Do I think it's this one? Let's see. Maybe. Yep. Okay, I don't think it matters. I'm not sure. That one's definitely a T. Maybe it's this one. These are the ones that it's like a partial keyhole. These middle, do you see how it's like partial? It's a little harder for me to tell which one goes where, but I think maybe Mitzi knows. And this seems like it would go there. Okay, I'm just gonna put it down. I don't care that much. I'm just getting the pieces on there now. I think the fruit mincemeat pie thing situation sounds pretty good to me. I've never had it either. I grew up in a family where my dad was from, he was born in Louisiana and raised in Texas. And so I had a lot of, these are the floral centers that I'm doing right now. I had a lot of Cajun food growing up. So that's what I grew up kind of eating. And so my favorite dessert, I have two favorite desserts. My two favorite desserts are, number one is cheesecake, in no particular order, of course. Cheesecake. The other one is bread pudding. So, and that has like, I don't know, brandy or rum or something in the recipe too, I think. Hey, Creating for Fun, welcome. We're just putting together some adorable pears For those just joining or who have recently joined in and we're not here, Altenew has a special exclusive discount code for you guys today. It's Carissa Live 3. And with that, you can save 10% off of anything in the creative cuts category through September 28th. You know what today is, everyone? Do you want to know what today is? Besides the 26th of September, because it is the 26th of September, it is my mother's birthday. So she must be, how old is she? I'm going to do the math. 71. It didn't seem possible. I was like, no, she can't be 71, but apparently she is 71 today. Happy birthday, Mama. I know you're not watching, but I'm going to say happy birthday anyway. I did sing happy birthday to her on the voice memos today. See, I think I put the wrong one on the wrong thing, but I think it's going to look fine either way. These are the only ones that I've had any kind of difficulty discerning the shape of. Let's see, does it go this way? Maybe it goes that way. We'll try it. Looks fine. Looks fine. Okay, this one is definite T. You can tell. I didn't even poke the T out of it. I just left the T in it. And then finally we have the final piece of the floral. Happy birthday to our color combo queen's mom. Well, thank you. I'm sure she would love to hear that all of you are wishing her a happy birthday. Her name is Nancy. We call her Nana. She's the Nana of the house. Okay, y'all, we have it put together. Isn't that fun? Oh, interesting. My lights do not flicker when I zoom out. They only flicker when I zoom in. Isn't that crazy? All right. Oh, Lee says, I miss my mom. I'm so sorry. Can only imagine how difficult that must be and will be. Okay, so this is how they're showing them on the packaging, the little blossoms, which we could do, but maybe I'm zooming you guys back in just a little bit. Maybe we'll do something a little different. I don't know. Maybe we'll decide on where we want our pears in just a bit. But I want to create a place for these to land. And I have so many ideas, but we'll see what we come up with. I'm kind of thinking that I take this will eventually go on the front of the card, but I'm thinking I blend just a rectangle for this to kind of rest on. And then if we wanted to, we could use the fine wood grain texture plate or press plate. This is a press plate to do like I'm really happy with the colors on these pears, by the way, to do a impression on our card front. So that could be really fun. I'm gonna score this real quick at 4 1/4. This is the scoring board from Altenew. I love this because like your most used measurements are marked with a star. Now, that doesn't mean you can't mess it up because I have before. So, no! No! Hold on. Are we back? Okay. It looks like it dropped for just a second. Okay. Oh, Let's hope this is not going to be a thing today. I'm just so over it. We don't have a ton of internet options like where I live. We're kind of in a rural area. So I'm not even sure, like, I could do a whole lot about getting different internet service. So, okay. I'm going to take, this is satin masking tape from Altenew. Oh, hold on. This is not going to work. I'm going to have to do something different because I'm already ripping my cardstock. All good now. Whew. That's so nerve-wracking, you guys. So nerve-wracking. And I have zero control over it. No one's home. It's just me. I'm hardwired in and I don't even know what I could do. It didn't freeze here. Well, that's good. Okay. I'm going to go with a lighter tack. I'm going to use this and I'm going to just like basically do an inch all the way around. And I know it's an inch because the tape is an inch wide. So I'm just going all the way around and I'm going to mask an inch. And whatever is left in the center, I'm sorry you're seeing my head right now, that's what we're going to have for our blended area. I have trouble with the scoreboard staying in the grooves. Okay, so what you want to do is what you can do if you have trouble staying in the grooves, hold on and I'll show you. Let's get this masked and then I'll show you, okay? It's not you, it's YouTube. I've been thinking that, but then I was thinking maybe it's not me because it's been doing it so much lately and I don't even know like anymore if it's me or if it's YouTube. Okay, I have this masked, we'll put it aside. And it didn't used to do this to you. I know it didn't used to do. Okay, so if you're having trouble staying in the score lines, here's what you can do. First of all, start up here where your groove is, right? Okay, but the other thing is if you pull your cardstock down, I mean, just the slightest of bits, you can really get your tool in there before you start moving down. So you kind of have a place to kind of dig in before you start scoring. So if you have a little trouble staying in the grooves, try pulling your cardstock. Just make sure it's pushed against this edge. Try pulling it down just a little bit and then you kind of have a place to kind of dig your tool in and you can score down. So hopefully that will help. Signal issue outside the house and they hit it. Oh, interesting. I don't even know how soon I could get that to happen. Okay. All right, let's do this. We're gonna do Dusty Rose. Very lightly. Okay, large blending brush, Dusty Rose ink. Okay, just a little bit of that. I'm going actually a little bit more intense around the masked edges on purpose because I want there to be like this clean line. Now remember, this blend does not have to be perfect. Why? Because our pears are going to be over it. So we just need to get some color down, okay? Mainly around the edges. Okay, so we're a little lighter in the middle. This will kind of dry back and hopefully our little brush mark there will get a little bit better. But what I want to do is, what tool am I using? That is a bone folder from the Stamp Market. Now I'm going to grab Toasted Mauve. These two colors are so pretty together. They're like my favorite fall pinks. They're just fabulous fall pinks. And you'll see, this is actually pretty intense. But we're going to go with just a touch of it. And it kind of is like a maroony brown. Well, it's toasted mauve. There you go. That's exactly what it is. And we're just going to do it in like a few places. So we'll do like here. I don't know if I want to do it around the entire area. It's just such a pretty combination. I used this in my video tutorial that I published today featuring some September products from Altenew. And I have a Teflon bone folder. So the Teflon bone folders, I love them. They tend to be a little thicker, so sometimes they might be harder to keep in the grooves because they're a little bit fatter. But anyway, I was saying, I used this toasted mauve, dusty pink color combo on some of the leaves in today's video tutorial on YouTube. And I love it for fall. I think it's so pretty. So pretty. It's pink, but it's got a little maroon flavor. Okay, now we're gonna wipe this. And we're gonna carefully pull this back so we don't rip anything. Joining late. This is gorgeous. Well, thank you, Karen. I'm glad you're here. Also, I'm going to just pull, well, I'm not going to destroy the reveal for you guys. I was going to put the graphic on the screen. But remember, Creative Cuts from Altenew, which is what I'm featuring the Pears today. That whole collection is 10% off with the discount code Carissa Live 3 today through September 28th. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Let's see how it looks with our pears. Oh my goodness. You guys, that is such a simple beauty. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I have a couple of options for sentiments. We could do something from the Sweet Harvest, which this is a Craft Your Life kit from Altenew that's new this month. So we could do like the Thankful for You or You're So Sweet. Or we could do a foiled sentiment from the new One Go Solid Sentiment Strips, which that looks beautiful. Or we could combine them. Oh, I like that idea. Okay. I can't not do it. I have to have all the things because I can't. We'll see if it works out. Okay. So let's do a piece of white cardstock. Let's do, no. Let's not do white cardstock. Let's do vellum. Let's do a scrap of vellum. Okay. So we're going to do some heat embossing. So I'm going to prep the surface with a powder tool. I am going to, where'd you go? Da-da. Let's see. I have my embossing ink all re-inked. I just re-inked it the other day. I'm going to ink that up. I'm trying to see, did I slide? Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna grab some gold embossing powder. I thought about platinum, but I want it to match the foiling if we do a combo of the two. The pears look amazing, I know. Well, I'm not trying to pat my back. I think they turned out great. I love them. And since it has that keyhole system, it makes it so easy to line everything up and get them perfectly positioned. Okay, so we have that. Great choice so it doesn't hide the beauty of your pears. That's exactly what I was thinking. And then I can get away with both sentiments and not have to worry about, you know, covering up too much. So I'm gonna heat this up. I'm gonna let it heat up. And then my question is, do we impress this background or do we just leave it like it is? So I would do not like a foiling or a better press with it, but instead what I would do is just make an impression with the press plate. That's what I'm thinking. I love to use vellum, Margie, so I'm glad you like it when I use vellum because it's one of my favorite things on a card. I think it's so beautiful. You are so sweet. I got a little, it's a little fat. It's a little fat, and the reason is I slid when I stamped. So we're gonna do it again because it won't take us long to do it again. And vellum, I can't just glue another one right over the top like I did the other day. So this time I'm gonna be sure in my stamping. Straight down, straight up, okay? Straight down, straight up. Okay. Let's try this again. There's a little bug in there, so I'm not sure. Okay, yes, texture. You guys want to see that. Okay. Let's do this again. Oh yeah, that you are so, looks a lot better on this guy than the other one. It was a little chunky on the other one because I slid when I stamped. I could feel it. That can be a little tricky thing about stamping on vellum, especially with a block, because you can, it's slippery, it's slick. So you can definitely slide a little bit. Try not to burn myself here. Okay, I like this one better. Turned out a little bit better, except for it has like a little boogie right here. Okay, got it. Okay. Now, I have the add-on die set for this. Another thing that would be cool from this Craft Your Life Sweet Harvest, the stencil set, which does the apples, and I have this on my YouTube channel today, a card featuring this, but the stencil set that does the apples also has like this line texture and kind of this woven texture, and you could make an impression with one of those stencils on your cardstock as well, which would be a lot of fun. But I'm gonna grab the add-on die here, this You Are So Sweet die, and then I'm gonna die cut my sentiment. We may finish it off with a few gold pearls from Altenew, not sure. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so You Are So Sweet. Let's die cut you. I have some foiled sentiments here left over from that One Go Solid Sentiments. It's the Gratitude Edition. It's the newest one for September. I use these solid sentiment strips all the time, and you get like 12 or something like that every time you either press it or do foiling with it. And so, oh my gosh, you guys, I messed it up. Okay, we're gonna do this for the third time. Actually, can I just, let's just use this one. We're gonna use the chubby one because I don't wanna do this again. Okay. I'm gonna tape it in place this time. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I use these solid sentiment strips all the time. And there's like a celebration edition. There's the original OG one. And there is now the Gratitude edition, which I think is so fantastic. Look how cute this is. Oh my goodness. Thanks a million. And I have this linked in the YouTube description if you want to check it out. Truly Grateful. No, I don't like that one. I'm trying to find one where I can let the descender of the tea kind of hang over the strip like this. I think that one would work. Yeah. So it says sending thanks. Now, before we do all this and glue it down, we need to make our impression with third time's a charm, right? Oh, look, and this is all left over from this press plate where I did it with foil. This is from today's video tutorial that I posted, but here's an extra one. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to show you. I'm going to just make an impression with it. So I'm going to place this. I'm going to go through my die cutting sandwich. Oops, just totally messed that up. Here, let's do it from the ground up. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So Anna Griffin Empress, A plate, press plate, paper, silicone mat. This comes with it. And then let's test our thickness here. Sounds like it's good. My embossing skills are better than my foiling skills. Look at that. Now we have that wood grain texture. You can see it has like some deeper, bigger spots that you're seeing on that there. So you have that texture on the front of the card. Okay. So now we have all the things that we've used. I'm actually going to trim this down just a little because I think I want it matted on a card base. I'm thinking Marshland card base or Misty Moore. Let's do like an 1/8 of an inch. So it'll end up being 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Five and a quarter. Okay. So we'll have that trimmed down just a little, just a tiny. That's cool, huh? Okay. Get that wood grain effect. And then I want this guy here. I want to see, now if you were live with me the other day, we did something similar with a gold frame where we had it. The thing I want to make sure of is that you can see at least 3 of the corners so that you know for sure like you are seeing a shape under there. If I cover up too much of the corners of this, then what can happen is that you kind of are just like, what's behind it? You don't really know. And so what I'm thinking is maybe here-ish. Thinking like there is where we want it. I'm going to use the, is it 1/8 of an inch thick? Anna Griffin Empress Mini is on sale for $125 on her website. I will tell you, I have the mini. I've used the mini. If you had your choice of getting one or the other, I think your cutting results are much better with the standard size Empress. I'm just going to tell you, the cutting results that I get with my mini are just not as wonderful as I get with my full size Empress. So just be aware of that. I think on the intricate dies, it just does not do as great of a job. So just, I have it. I love it. I love to travel with it. Like I've taken it to retreats and stuff, and I think it's great. I just think that I get more consistent and better cuts with the full size Empress. So I don't feel like it's a the one that you're gonna want for like all of your die cutting. Just saying that. Okay, I'm doing the standard thickness foam on the leaves. So the pears will actually stick up higher than the leaves and we'll have less dimension on the leaves than we do the pears. I'm glad you guys are liking this. Kind of fun, huh? These colors are just so pretty. Just that pretty toasted mauve and dusty rose. They're great for fall. And with that Nature's Wonder color, like the Misty Moor and the Marshland and all that, I just think it's fantastic. Is that about where I said? This guy wants to go down. He's like, I don't care what you said. I'm stuck. Okay, okay. Can we get you up to go a little higher, dude? Oh, it did do a little ripping, but that's okay because we'll be covered. Oh, it's so sticky. Okay, right there-ish, I think. Yeah. Okay, so the leaves don't have as much dimension as the pears because the foam adhesive is not as deep. So that's kind of a fun little situation there. Now we're going to take this guy and we're going to glue it to the foiled thing. So we're going to add some liquid glue on the descender of the T behind where the embossing is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it to the sentiment strip. Okay, so just like that. I'm going to hold it there for a minute. I just started doing the cutting into the plates rather than the magnetic mat, trying to save on those mats. Yeah, I have the full size, but also have the mini plates. So I use the mini plates if I only have something small to cut. Yes, I feel like the mini plates, you always have to use the metal shim with it. I don't know, maybe your experience is different, but even with my full size, and if I'm using the mini plates, I feel like I have to use the metal shim. Whereas I use the standard size plates and I don't always have to use the metal shim. I don't know why. I've heard it from other people too, so I know I'm not the only crazy one in the world. So it happens to other people as well. I'm just holding this with a little bit of liquid glue here. I glued the bottom of the S to there. And I think we're gonna go about right there with it. And we'll do a little bit of foam adhesive, standard depth foam adhesive for this. Guys, good? Are you gonna have a good weekend? You guys got fun stuff planned? I'm working at the hospital tomorrow, so I will be there doing my nursey thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit on that vellum sentiment. And let's see, looks like, ooh, I don't know, this is maybe not gonna work. I'm gonna go there. The reason is that because I have a different depth of foam adhesive down here, I would have to put a whole nother thing. I'm just gonna have it overlap the pear there. Okay, I think that's fine. Isn't that pretty? Then we have our two little florals. So let's get those on here. Then we'll put this on a card base. We are almost done. You're watching your son's dog for the weekend. Now, is that something you enjoy doing, or is that something that you feel compelled to do because he's your son? You love that, Mitzi. Is it that you love the sentiment like that right there. Isn't that fun? Okay, I'm just playing here. I'm just kind of seeing where I might want the other one. Now I could put it where it shows it, but I'm just I'm thinking maybe up here. Maybe, oh, don't stick before I'm ready. I'm gonna go up here. There-ish. Okay. No, I don't like it. I just looked up at the screen. I don't like it there. I think we're gonna come down a little. So I'm gonna do it like essentially where it shows it. I just didn't like the weight of it up here. It was too like, so bringing it down a little bit and overlapping it with this pear just looks better. It's like they know what they're doing. Okay, let's put this on a card base. Now you could finish this off with some gold pearls. Oh, I think this will be really pretty on this cardstock. Don't you think it's pretty on this cardstock? This is Misty Moore, I believe, cardstock. The sentiments are beautifully laid out. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that. Let's get the scoring tool, and we're gonna go right at that 4 1/4 mark because this is cut to 5.5 by 8.5 inches. I like it best down below. Yeah, a little lower. It looks better for sure. Okay, so this is gonna go here. This guy is just, he's a little off. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, now we'll do out for dinner and trip to the bookstore with friends on Saturday. You haven't been to the bookstore since July before your knee replacement. Well, that sounds fun. And out for lunch with another friend on Sunday. How fun. My husband had a knee replacement a couple years ago, and he is doing great. Back to mostly all of the things that he did before. There's a few things, I mean, he's just, I mean, you know, we just don't do some of the things that we did before. Like we don't play softball and stuff anymore. So he's pretty much back to all his activity, full activity, doing all the things that he wants to do. So hopefully you'll continue to heal and that it will be worth it in the long run, because I know the recovery process is a little bit slow at times. Like you want to be better and you're not. Absolutely perfect cardstock base. Well, thank you, Beverly. That's so sweet. Does anybody have any questions for me? I have a couple of $15 Altenew gift card codes to give away. So I will do that here in just a moment. This is the 1-inch wide foam tape. And it's great for like putting a card base onto, or a card front onto a card base. I love this. I think this is so pretty. This guy's bugging me though. It's like he wanted to be just a little bit crooked, so he needs some correction in his life. Okay, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. Love this. So there's quite a few products that I've mixed and matched here. We use some from the Craft Your Life. Oh, by the way, speaking of cards that I shared on my YouTube channel today, featuring some of the same products. So these are the other two that I shared on my YouTube channel today in that pre-recorded video. The fine wood grain texture is used in both of these. This is the Sweet Harvest Craft Your Life kit that I use this sentiment from. There's the these are the One Go Solid Sentiments Gratitude Edition. So you can see a lot of the elements that I use that I've mixed and matched into this card that features these adorable fresh pears layering die set. Love this so much. And remember, you can get 10% off the Creative Cuts category. I have a link in the YouTube description below that will take you to that category and automatically apply the discount. But if you use a different link, you can use Carissa Live 3 at checkout to save 10%. So I was gonna say, I had pulled those up, but these pearl dots would be pretty, oh, hello. It didn't want to focus there for a second. These pearl dots would be really pretty to kind of finish this card project off as well. So those would look great with this. In fact, should we just pop a couple on here? So these are similar color combos. This has a little more orangey color. This I brought in a little bit of a more yellowy color. So they're very similar in they both feature this dusty rose and toasted mauve color combination, which I love so much. Let's do a little bit of embellishing. How about it? How about just a bit? Couple more little small ones. Pink and green are surprisingly great together, right? Pink and green's always good. You just got to make sure that you have the right tone pink with the right tone green, which is why we brought in a little bit of that dusty rose to the pink pearl up here on the florals, because we needed a little more earthiness to the pink pearl to keep it from feeling like it was summer, you know? Just needed a little grounding. Okay, I think that's perfect. Perfect. Love that. All right. All right, love the leaf card. That leaf card is beautiful. Love watching that video. Well, thank you for checking that out. If you haven't already, you can check out this video tutorial on my YouTube channel today, but this is what we created. So much fun. I'm gonna pop this onto the screen, and what I'm gonna do, actually, I don't want you guys to accuse me of cheating, so I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm gonna close my eyes. Question, is the cardstock on the leaf card also Misty Moore? This one is Marshland. So this one's Misty Moore, and this one's Marshland. So, and this is dark chocolate here, the browns. So the browns are the same on both. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna scroll up in the comments. I'm gonna pick 2 winners. Each of you will receive a $15 Altenew gift card code. So first one, just scrolling, 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 and it is Creating for Fun, the number 4, Creating for Fun. Hope you're still here so that you can claim your prize. And I just saw a comment that says, love a good Krispy Kreme donut bread pudding. I've never heard of that, but Carmen, I need to have that. Okay, second one, I'm gonna just scroll a little bit down from there, closing my eyes, and Melissa Horn. Melissa Horn. So Creating for Fun and Melissa Horn, you are the winners of today's $15 Altenew digital gift card code. So what you need to do to claim them is you need to email me at, it's Carissa@sprinkledwithglitter.com, so that you can claim your prize, and I will send your information on over to the team at Altenew and they will get your digital gift card code sent to you. Aren't these pretty together? Love this, and that they look so great together because they all incorporate very similar colors. So the Misty, the Nature's Wonder, and this, what's it called? Woodland Escape color palettes from Altenew are in both of these. Yes, congratulations. Let's see, are you both here? Melissa Horn, yay! You're both here, so congratulations. Email me at Carissa@sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'm gonna give you just a second to throw any questions into the chat and then just throw this up for you. 10% off the Creative Cuts collection using code Carissa Live 3 through September 28th, 2025 at Altenew. That's Eastern Standard Time. You can see that the doves, what are they called? Doves in Flight and the Pack Your Bags, which I've created with here on my YouTube channel. Those are part of the Creative Cuts collection. So if you want to check out those videos here on my YouTube channel and pick up those sets, you can also use that discount code CarissaLive3 to save 10% off of each of those. Thank you all for being here. Whether you're watching live with me or you're watching on replay, I appreciate you coming here and spending your time with me. I love to hear your comments. Let me know if you're watching on replay. Leave me a comment. Let me know you're watching on replay. Let me know what you loved about it. And of course, you can always leave me any questions that you may have there. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials, as well as my Carissa Crafts live stream broadcast. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I will be live here on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time again, so be sure to join me. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope you dance into the weekend. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.